Hi everyone and welcome to this video. In this video I'm going to do something really simple. I'm going to get this GY30 BH1750 light intensity sensor to work with the ESP32. And it's surprisingly simple. And usually with the ESP32 I found that nothing is really simple, but getting this thing to work with it is simple. So I'm going to show you how to get it to work. Okay, so what you're going to need, I'll just zoom out a little bit. What you're going to need is a breadboard. I've got one of these little things. You'll need an ESP32, you'll need a light intensity sensor, and a bunch of jumper wires. So, let's start. To start with the ESP32, we only need to use one side, and the side we need to use is the side with D21 and D22 in it. So I'll just push that in there. So the D21 and D22 side is pushed into the breadboard. In fact, I wonder if this will fit in this way. No, no, there's no point. Let's put it in that way like that. So next we'll push the light intensity sensor in there like that. I'll zoom out a bit more so you can see. Okay, and now we need to do the wiring. So, which way shall we start? From the light sensor or the ESP? I think we'll start from the ESP. So, to start with, we need a 3.3 volt into the ESP32. In fact, I think I'll zoom in here and show you this closer. And next we'll put in the ground line. I won't wire them to the BH1750 just yet. So we've got the ground in there. Then we also want another wire in ground, so we'll have two in ground. Then we want a wire from D21 and we want a wire from D22, just like that. Okay, so we've got a wire in 3.3 volts, two wires in ground, one in D21 and one in D22. And I'll move over to the light sensor. Maybe I should just zoom out a touch. That's better. Okay, and I'll show you how to wire this thing up. So of course, the 3.3 volts goes to VCC, and the ground goes to ground, which is on the other side over here, and the other ground goes to ADD. That's the address. Then over here, D21 goes to SDA. SDA and SCL are I2C pins. And then D22 goes to SCL, which is the clock, which is the I2C clock. So in the end you should have something that looks like that. So we've got ground, address, SDA, SCL and VCC. So let's just zoom out to show you. You should have something that looks like that. Okay, now let's go over to the PC and write some code for this thing. Alright, so I've made a sketch, and the first thing I need to do is go to sketch and then include library and then manage libraries, and then it'll take a couple of seconds to load, but click in this here, this thing, filter your search. Okay, so click there and then type in BH1750 and you'll see that there's a library here called BH1750 by Christopher Laws. Sometimes you see his alias as being Claus, but anyway, this library is the best one I've found, and so yeah, I'd like to say thank you to Christopher Laws, because, you know, without different ones making these libraries, we'd really be struggling. What it would mean is that you have to write your own library for everything. So yeah, I really appreciate that people do make these libraries, because without them we'd really be struggling. But anyway, install that thing. So there should be an install button over here. I'm of course not going to install it because it's already installed. But anyway, click close on that when you've done it and restart or whatever. And then when that's done, go to File and then Examples. Then go down here to the example, where is it? BH1750. There's usually three. But anyway, click on Advanced and this new thing will come up. And pretty much that's all there is to it, but let's delete that to start with. and we don't need this either, we can delete that. Then over here I'll change this to 115200, which is what I usually use, and then it goes on here about various different measurements and whatever, but you don't actually have to use it. I mean, I often do that. I just have light meter.begin and that's fine for me. We don't need the test, we don't need that there. Let's get rid of some of these spaces, and then in the loop, this is really easy. So light, lux and delay. So control T, let's make sure I've got the right microcontroller, which I haven't. So it's COM11 for me, it'll be something different for you. I'll go down here to ESP32 dev module. Sometimes you can use, like, you know, the more specific one, so like do it ESP32 or whatever, but I don't do that. I just keep it simple, and ESP32 dev module works for me. So anyway, control and U, and let's upload it and see what happens. Okay, it's done uploading and it says hard resetting, so I'll press Control Shift M. And oh, for some reason it didn't come up. Oh, there you go. And you can see here, oh, we've got a watchdog reset for some reason. I'm not sure why that is. But it's saying 1915 lux. So if I just pull this over here and put something over it, let's see, I'll cover it over with my thumb, and it says 1, 2 lux. I'll cover it over again, 0 lux. So I'll release and then put it under some light, and there we go. It works perfectly. So there you go, that's how to wire up the BH1750, and that's how to code it. Well, or should I say use someone else's library to pretty much get it to work out of the box. So there you go, thank you for watching, bye.